Hi, and welcome back to the Food Fund, where we explore all things related to investing in food and beverage stocks. My goal is to help you put your money where your mouth is and invest in great companies. Now, if you are like me, you love food and you love investing. So, it only makes sense that you will love this channel too. In this video we will be comparing and contrasting two food and beverage ETFs. First, Trust Nasdaq Food and Beverage ETF. Ticker symbol FTXG, and Invesco Dynamic Food and Beverage ETF. Ticker symbol PBJ. Clearly both ETFs focus on the food and beverage industry, as is the focus of this channel, but there are some key differences between them. By the end of this video, we will have a better understanding of these two ETFs. Be sure to watch through the end of the video where I share my final thoughts on that. Before we get started, please click the like button and let YouTube know that you like the content. Subscribe and click the notification bell to make sure you catch the latest videos. Your continued support means so much to the Food Fund. Now, let's dive into it. Let's start with FTXG. FTXG is an ETF issued by First Trust and tracks the performance of the Nasdaq US Smart Food and Beverage Index. It focuses on companies involved in the production, distribution, and sale of food and beverage products. It selects the 30 most liquid US food and beverage stocks from the benchmark index and ranks those stocks based on 3 factors. 1. Volatility per the trailing 12-month price fluctuation. 2. Value using cash flow to price ratio. 3. Growth using the 3, 6, 9, and 12-month average price appreciation. The stocks are weighted based on their score on the 3 factors, and the fund is composed to prevent high concentrations among single stocks. Now, let's examine PBJ. PBJ is an ETF issued by Invesco that tracks the performance of the Dynamic Food and Beverage Intellidex Index. It focuses on companies involved in the manufacture, sale or distribution of food and beverage products, agricultural products, and products related to the development of new food technologies. It selects the 30 US food and beverage stocks, optimizing for capital appreciation based on 5 primary criteria: price momentum, earnings momentum, quality, management action, and value. The fund is rebalanced and reconstituted every quarter. While both ETFs invest in companies within the food and beverage industry, their investment objectives are slightly different. FTXG seeks to minimize volatility and is only reconstituted every year, whereas PBJ may seek to leverage price momentum and is reconstituted every quarter. Okay, let's move on to a side-by-side comparison. FTXG is slightly cheaper with an expense ratio of 0.6% versus a PBJ expense ratio of 0.63%. Both of these expense ratios are pretty high in my opinion. Next, FTXG is about 3 times larger with assets under management around $1 billion. PBJ has around $310 million in assets under management. I would expect this difference in fund value to affect the trading price spread. Trading volumes support that idea, with FTXG trading at near 70% more volume at about $3 million per day versus PBJ $1.8 million per day. Next, we see that the number of holdings is identical, with the 31st holding in each ETF being cash. Performance for the two ETFs is largely aligned, though PBJ outperformed. Year-to-date, PBJ outperformed FTXG 1.86% to -1.32%, 1 year 9.07% to 7.31%, 3 year 16.42% to 13.14%, and 5 year 8.16% to 7.46%. So while PBJ may outperform in the short term, performance in the long term seems to be pretty similar. Next, we see the trading price spread less pronounced, with FTXG at 2 cents versus PBJ at 5 cents. In general, we should prefer more volume and better liquidity from our financial instruments. Last, let's compare the holdings. While Mondelez, Pepsi are in the top 5 holdings for both ETFs, FTXG is significantly more concentrated, with the top 5 holdings accounting for over 40% of the portfolio. Meanwhile, the top 5 holdings for PBJ account for almost 25%. So, which ETF is better, and should we add it to the portfolio? Before sharing my final thoughts on that, please subscribe, like, and share this video. Your support means a lot to the Food Fund and your continued viewership is a huge help to grow the channel. Now, let's get into my final thoughts. Like most things in life, choosing the better of two options really depends on our goals. For the Food Fund, I am looking to invest in companies related to food and beverage. For me, this also includes restaurants and grocers, the latter two of which neither FTXG nor PBJ give exposure to. Additionally, given the high expense ratios for an index-tracked fund, I don't think either ETF meets the long-term goals of the Food Fund. Again, if you are looking for a food and beverage ETF with strong momentum performance and higher turnover, then PBJ may be a good choice. While I am not primarily looking to buy FTXG for the Food Fund, I am open to owning it to strategically gain broad exposure to the food and beverage industry as needed. I was also considering using FTXG as the benchmark for the Food Fund. However, I will plan to use the S&P 500 as it is more widely known and has better availability of metrics for comparison. In any event, I am looking forward to building out the portfolio and hope you join on the journey. Many thanks for watching. What do you think about the food and beverage ETFs? Please share your thoughts below. It is always great to hear from you. Please check out some more videos right now and don't forget to put your money where your mouth is.